Would you invest in a country where the population is shrinking fast? Most would say no. Yet, Japan has attracted more than USD $30 billion in 2024, making it the hottest investment market in the world for real estate. Hi everyone, welcome to Expert Answers. My name is Jim Tay and I'm the Japan Country Business Director for OrangeTee. And today I'll be answering some of your questions relating to Japan property investment. What makes Japanese real estate such an attractive investment compared to other countries? That's a good one because even for myself as a real estate professional, I see many international locations being marketed today. What makes Japan stand out? Well, first of all, it's not just very attractive for real estate investment, it's also very attractive for tourists as well. Globally, Japan consistently ranks as one of the top tourist destinations in the world. It's so unique culturally, and when you go there, you experience yourself the great world-class infrastructure. And above all that, it's very safe with a good education system. People love to live there and they feel very comfortable living there. So just by itself, Japan is a very attractive destination. If I just focus on the Singapore dollars especially, right now if you just do a search online, you'll see that the 1 Singapore dollar exchanges you about 115 Japanese yen. If you look just 5 to 10 years ago, the rate was about 1 SGD to 80 to 85 Japanese yen. That's about a 30 to 40% difference in the exchange rate alone. Hence, your dollar buys you more in Japanese yen, and it's almost like the real estate there is on a discount. Correct? More than that, very importantly, in Japan, the rules on real estate transactions are quite open and it's a very free market. Meaning to say, as a foreigner, you can purchase real estate there with the same rules and regulations as a local. For Singaporeans especially, that means no ABSD, additional buyer stamp duty. But for Japan, you can, no worry about that, you can own multiple properties without paying additional property tax. That's really very attractive. Next question. Japan's population is shrinking and aging. Is it still safe to invest here long term? Is this important as a real estate investor? Definitely. But I would say for Japan, you have to look more than the entire country. I understand that aging population appears in the headline. We can never talk about Japan without mentioning aging population. But when we really zoom in, we must see where in Japan is facing this aging population. And at OrangeTee, we focus primarily on Tokyo. And when I do my deep research on Tokyo as a city itself, not just the city, but the entire Tokyo prefecture, you realize that Tokyo is the only prefecture that registered a positive population growth in 2024. And not just that, its median age is between 25 to 29 years old. That means, right, that many areas in Japan, the people are flocking from rural areas to the prime cities, especially Tokyo, hence boosting its population. And you are absolutely right. When you're doing a real estate investment, you want to invest in a city that has growing population. So invest correctly, invest in the right city. When buying or selling in Japan, what taxes and costs should investors be aware of? Now we're getting serious, talking about the dollars and cents. Right, so as a buyer in Japan, your cost can be up to 8% of the property purchase price. What does this consist of? First, your taxes and registration fees, about 2%. Then 3% if you're taking a loan. And additionally, you have to pay an additional 3% if you're buying a property off the secondary market. This 3% is brokerage fee. I understand it's not common in Singapore for buyers to pay brokerage fee, but in Japan, it's the norm, especially when you're buying properties from the secondary property market. So, for resale secondary property market, up to 8%. If you're buying something new from the developer, you can pay as low as 2% if you're not taking a loan from the bank. Thereafter, when you're holding the property, what are the costs involved? Annually, you have to pay property tax, which is taken at the valuation of the real estate that is appraised year by year, right? It's an average of about 1% of a property price. Furthermore, if you're renting your property out, you will also have to pay income tax, and that works on a progressive system. So depending on how much rental income you receive, you can pay something from about 5%, 10%, or even up to 20 to 30%, depending on how much rental income you receive for that year. Finally, an important tax you need to know when selling your property in future is that Japan has a capital gains tax. If you sell your property within the first 5 years, take note, it's only on the amount that you actually gain from the property price is about 30%. However, if you do hold your property for more than 5 years, you only need to pay a capital gains tax of 15%. Yep, so that's for the taxes and costs of owning Japan property. Next question, how do overseas investors typically handle ongoing management of the unit? Japan is a very mature real estate market, so there are many dedicated property management companies that can assist you with just that. Here at OrangeTee, we actually have a partner known as Tokyu Housing Lease, which specializes in that, and their fees are very reasonable. If you're renting out your unit and receiving rental income, they can assist you, first of all, to do the initial finding of a tenant, tenancy agreement, collect rent for you. They can even do things like paying of the management fee, paying property tax for you, and they only charge fees starting from 5% of your monthly rent every month. Furthermore, if you're using the unit for your own stay and maybe only plan to visit a couple of times a year, they can also help you to set up your utilities account, your internet, right? Also help you to visit the unit, to clean up the unit whenever you visit. These are more of the ad hoc charges. So it's a very, very comprehensive service, very transparent and very detailed as the Japanese do. I'd like to take this opportunity to highlight one of our product ranges that we are selling here at OrangeTee, Lydias. What is Lydias? Lydias refers to a series of renovated homes, and I don't just mean surface renovations, I mean renovations from the inside out, where they change everything, including the appliances, the piping, the wiring, 100% renovation. It's as good as a brand new unit that you can get on the secondary market. And best of all, when you purchase Lydias, there's little to no worries that you can get as an overseas investor because they come with 2 years warranty and even up to 10 years if you purchase the unit for your own stay. So, hassle-free investors, Lydias is for you. Last question, I don't know the Japanese language. How can I get started with a Japan investment? Well, that's where we at OrangeTee come into the picture. We have our partners and we partner with one of the top real estate firms, Tokyu Livable. They're not just any real estate company, as I mentioned, they are one of the top 3 brokerage firms in Japan. They have a dedicated overseas team that speak English. Well, some of them are even fluent in Chinese as well. So if that's your language needs, you can actually get by purchasing a property there without speaking a single word of Japanese language. Let's dive into the process. First, we help you to shortlist a unit based on your requirements, whether you're buying for own stay, for investment, or you're buying for your kids. You know, there's so many prestigious universities in Japan, many reasons for you to purchase a property there. So once you shortlist a unit, we invite you to our office where we have a Zoom with our partners at Tokyu Livable, where we go through the offer to purchase, right? This offer to purchase is a simple one-page document where we submit your formal interest to purchase a Japan property. Thereafter, once this offer is accepted, a week later, we invite you back to our office where we go through the detailed contract. It takes about 2-3 hours because the Japanese are really very detailed. You don't have to worry anything because the paperwork is so detailed and they go through with you almost line by line in your preferred language. At that point of time, once you confirm to proceed, you pay a deposit of 5 to 10% of the property purchase price depending on the type of property that you're buying. From that point on, in about 1 to 2 months' time, you can receive the keys to the property. All this without even setting foot in Japan yourself. That's how smooth this transaction can be, especially because we work with our partners at Tokyu Livable. They are even more than happy to do a live video tour of any of the shortlisted units that you have picked out. As simple as that, so let's get started soon. We've reached the end of this episode of Expert Answers. If you have any more burning questions on the Japan real estate investment market, feel free to leave a comment in the comment box down below and I'll do my best to answer you. Remember to like this video, give a share and subscribe to this channel, and we'll see you in the next episode of Expert Answers.